Tamriel's most decadent cheese dish isn't just for feasting, it's a Khajiit tradition. Today, we're diving into the creamy, dreamy world of Elsweyr Fondue, minus the mun sugar, but packed with flavor.
More than just comfort food, this fondue is a celebration of Khajiit culture, but don't let the simplicity fool you. Getting the perfect consistency is an art. Stick around to see the secret that takes this dish to the next level. From the heart of Riften in the bustling bean bar comes a recipe fit for adventurers and rogues alike. Kariva's famous bean bar bread, warm, hearty, and with a hint of spice. Whether you're escaping the Thieves Guild or just craving a taste of Tamriel, this bread is the perfect companion. First step for this bread is to get some yeast and water in a bowl and let them sit. So we're gonna go ahead and take 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast, add that into this bowl, as well as 1 1/4 cups of water heated to about 100 degrees. And then we're gonna grab a whisk and we're gonna go ahead and mix this up. It should turn into a nice foamy mixture. And then we're gonna cover this up with plastic wrap and let it sit for about 10 minutes while we prepare our dry ingredients. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our KitchenAid bowl, we're gonna take our whisk out of there and our dough hook, and we're gonna set it here. Now that you have your KitchenAid bowl ready to go, we're gonna go ahead and take 3.5 cups of unbleached bread flour and we're gonna dump that in here. We're also gonna add 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, as well as 2 teaspoons of sea salt. And to make this Kariva special recipe, we're gonna go ahead and add in a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of nutmeg, and lastly, 1 teaspoon of allspice. And we're gonna go ahead and whisk all of these ingredients together so they're well combined when we put our yeast and water mixture back in there. Mixture, not mixture. Now we're gonna go ahead and throw this into our KitchenAid. First, we're gonna attach our dough hook, unlock it, lift her up, and lock our dry ingredients in there. And then we're gonna drop that down. Make sure you lock it, very important. And we're gonna go ahead and grab that yeast mixture and we're gonna add that in there. We also grabbed some olive oil, 2.5 tablespoons of olive oil. You can use lard, you can use butter, whatever works for you, whatever you have in your kitchen. We're choosing olive oil because we like the flavor and it's a little bit healthier. We're gonna go ahead and turn this on to low while we add our wet ingredients. And first we're gonna add the yeast and water mixture, nice and slow. And we're also gonna go in with our 2.5 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we're gonna crank the speed up a little bit for about 3 to 5 minutes until this dough is well combined. All right, so this has been going for about 10 minutes in total. We're gonna go ahead and grease this bowl here, a little bit of olive oil, just so it doesn't stick. And then you're gonna go ahead and take your dough, unlock this, take your dough, just go ahead and form it into a nice ball. Drop it in your greased bowl, and then we're gonna go ahead and cover this up with some plastic wrap. Now that we have our dough in our greased bowl, we're gonna go ahead and let this rise for about an hour.
Kevin and I traveled all across Tamriel looking for these dippable delights. From the Stormcloak smokehouses of the north, hickory-smoked garlic ring bologna, rich and spiced with the strength of Skyrim's warriors. From the fertile fields of the Reach, broccoli and cauliflower, blanched until tender, their roots hardened by the land's harsh winds. And from the orchards of the Rift, honey-crisp apples, crisp and sweet, ripened under the golden glow of Tamriel's autumn sun, making this a meal worthy of mead halls and moonlit caravans alike. It's been about an hour, Kevin. Where's that bread?
Be patient, Jay. That bread will be ready in about an hour, right along with that fondue. So the next step for our bread is going to be to unveil this beautiful puffy dough. Wow, look at that. It looks so good. Once you have your dough uncovered, you're gonna go ahead and give it a good fist. All right. Before you take your dough out of there, you're gonna put a little bit of flour onto your surface, just so nothing sticks. Just about that much is probably fine. Spread it around a bit. And then we're gonna go ahead and take our dough and we're gonna go ahead and lay it down and we're just gonna cut it right in half. Once you have the dough split in half, you're gonna go ahead and take a moist towel and just drop it on top. And you're gonna let the dough rest for 10 minutes. The bread has been resting for about 10 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and uncover this. And we're gonna take 1/2 and we're just gonna set it aside for just a minute. while the other half we're gonna take and we're gonna actually roll it out a bit. You wanna take it to about a 1/2 inch thick and about 10 inches. So we're almost even there with this, but we're just gonna go with the roller a little bit. Right about there. I'm gonna go ahead and form it into more of a rectangle, and then you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna take your dough and you're gonna go ahead and just roll it up. Don't worry about the tightness for now. We are gonna roll it again to make it go a little longer. Just like that. Now you should have a roll about there. Now you're gonna go ahead and find that crease, put it side down and roll it a little tighter so your bread stretches out a bit. You want the final product to be about 16 inches. And then you're gonna take the ends, you're gonna pinch them in so they're tapered a bit. And then you're gonna take this whole thing, go ahead and set it on your baking tray. And you're gonna go ahead and take your second piece and just repeat that process. Once you have them rolled out and on your baking sheet, you're gonna go ahead and take another baking sheet. Go ahead and set it right on top. Those are gonna rest for another 30 minutes before we bake them. So about 10 minutes before your bread dough is done resting, you're gonna go ahead and take a 10-inch skillet. You're gonna bring a little bit of water to a boil and you're gonna preheat your oven to 400 degrees. All right, so we have our water boiling. These have been resting for about 30 minutes. The next step here is to take a food safety spritzer. You just want to get it a little bit moist. Once you have it spritzed down, you're going to go ahead and take a sharp knife and you're going to do a decorative score straight across the top. Once you have your score in there, your oven's ready to go, you're going to take your boiling water, you're going to stick that on the very bottom rack of the oven, and then you're going to put this on the middle rack and you're going to let that steam for about 8 to 10 minutes. Once that 8 to 10 minutes is done, you're going to go ahead and pull the cast iron skillet out and you're gonna go ahead and let them continue baking for about 20 more minutes, and then you're gonna have a delicious, beautiful piece of bread.
Although the Khajiit are known for their sweet tooth, this is one of their more savory recipes. Rich and creamy, this pot of melted cheese is a treat no Khajiit can resist, even without inclusion of illegal moon sugar. First, we're gonna open up 1 pound of Gruyère cheese. Go ahead and cut off this rind right here. We don't want any of the rind in this. The rinds are great to throw in soup, not so much for cutting this up. And we're gonna cut in half so it fits in our shredder. We got our stack of Gruyère here. We're gonna go ahead and turn this bad boy on.
It's not plugged in, bro.
Now that the KitchenAid is plugged in, we're going to go ahead and shred our Gruyère. And now our Gruyère is all shredded and ready to make a fondue. So we got 1 cup here of Dark Horse's Pinot Grigio and 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. We're gonna turn to a slurry. Once we have the cornstarch in our Dark Horse Pinot Grigio, we're gonna go ahead and add the secret Khajiit ingredient. 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. So we're gonna set that aside. And we're gonna grab our pan here. The next step is to take garlic and we're gonna rub the entire pan. I don't know why, but that's what my Khajiit grandma said to do. Woo! And onto the heat. All right, so once it reaches almost a boil, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start adding our Gruyère. We're gonna turn the heat off, but we're gonna leave it on the heat. And we're gonna slowly add this while stirring. The Elsweyr Fondue is now officially set. Our meal is about to begin. Smoked bologna from Stormcloak smokehouses, crisp apples from the Rift, and garden greens hardened by Skyrim's cold. Now, we take it all to the flames. Grab your flagon, Kevin. It's time to eat.
Sorry, one more time.
Dude, this was up here. And then we just keep taking takes.
Cheers.
You say it.
No.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Another great episode, Kevin.
Heck yeah, man, that was amazing. We made some Elsweyr Fondue. Jenny pronounces it better, but Elsweyr. We also made some Kariva's Barden Bee bread straight out of Riften. This is a delicious, spice-filled bread.
I talked to the Stormcloaks, got some of their famous bologna, and we blanched some vegetables.
And then we also went and harvested some Honeycrisp apples from some farm that Jeremiah talked about. But you guys will remember that better than we do. We're gonna eat this delicious food. We're starting with some bologna.
Bologna.
I'm excited to try this. Cheers, brother.
Ooh.
Oh my, that's cheesy. Wow.
Holy hell. Heck. Oh shit. Oh god, on my shoes. My
Oh yeah, it's dripping. It's dripping.
Oops.
Oh my god.
Hot?
Bro,
Oh, delicious. Life-changing?
that's life-changing.
It's quite good.
It's like mac and cheese without the mac, but better.
Yeah, I'm trying this one now. Here, I'm
The apple's a little sweet.
The apple.
I'm down with it. Wow. Oh, I lost it. Beautiful.
Oh my god. This is, and I swear to God I say it every time. And then I say that every time. This is one of the tastiest things we've ever made.
I'm gonna go with some cauliflower. Oh, you're going with the bread?
Yeah, the bread sounds great. I got
All right. You can literally see the nutmeg, allspice, and cinnamon in there. And there's also a little nutmeg in the fondue, so it's probably gonna be absolutely delicious.
That's the Khajiit special.
Wow. Besides the smoke in my eyes, that's pretty darn good.
It is. The nutmeg is an interesting flavor I wouldn't expect to go with cheese and bread.
Right?
But it's quite, A, noticeable, and B, tasty.
I think it's more noticeable on the bread than the cheese.
That's from the cinnamon and allspice, too.
Holy crap. If you guys like what you saw today, and this is your first time joining us, thank you for watching to this point. You definitely need to go ahead and hit that subscribe button to see more delicious recipes from Skyrim and across all of your favorite video game universes. Wow. Did you see that cheese ball?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Have a great night.
Peace out, y'all.
It's time to wipe. It's diabolical. Is it hot? This is your name again, bro.